First question is, when and where were you born?
Derby, Kansas, 1926. My mother was a school teacher in the high school there. My father truck farmed because he went broke during the Depression. He ran a grocery store. I had, as I say, one brother. And one kind of funny story, we'd be picking tomatoes and he'd be on down the road maybe 30, 40 feet, and I'd come to a tomato that had a spoil spot. I'd give it like this and throw it up in the air, and then it'd come down close to me. I graduated from high school and I was 17. At that time, the war in Europe was pretty hot and heavy. I didn't want to be in the infantry, which is what would have happened if I'd waited till 18, and boom, I'd go to Europe. So I enlisted in the Navy. Because of my half-year college, I got to go to weather school over in New Jersey. They sent me down, and I was supposed to go on an aviation supply ship. And I didn't know what in the world I was supposed to do, so I called over Norfolk Naval Base. Well, they sent a full naval captain over there to see what in the world was going on. And he kind of treated me like a son. He said, "Son, I don't know why they put you on this ship. We'll send you over to Norfolk." And there I got assigned to an oil tanker. Went on the carrier. I need to tell about that one. We went down to Havana, Cuba, and I assume you've never been there.
No, I've heard of it though.
Anyway, at least back then it was quite a sailor's town. And that means lots of women and lots of booze. Well, anyway, they brought the sailors back from town, and they were drunk. I mean, they were all laid out on the dock. And so he kind of looked at me and said, "Well, I don't know what we're going to do." And I said, "Well, it's fairly simple." I said, "They can't walk. Even if they could, they'd fall in the water." So I said, "Put a cargo net down, dump them in it, and put it up on the flight deck and sort them out." We went down in a B-52, and I think it was what you call them, a makeup crew, meaning didn't fly regularly. They didn't do a very good job of planning. We flew 1,000 miles down there, and they flew down over the field, and they decided it was too short and too narrow to land a B-29. So we flew clear back to Guam, and this old plane was tired, and it was night by that time, and I listened to the pilots talk. Well, if we don't hit that place on the nose, they said we'll just have to ditch. Well, you don't want to ditch at sea at night if you can help it, because you can't tell what direction the wind's in and all that jazz. Anyway, we came around and landed, and the fire engines followed us and whatever. Anyway, then I came back home and got discharged.
How did the experiences in the military affect your life?
It expanded my world travel.
Do you have any life lessons learned from when you were in the military?
You needed to be pretty careful on who you chose for your friends.
How do you define freedom?
The privilege or opportunity to do what you wanted to do, assuming you were somewhat virtuous in what you wanted to do. You can make of yourself something or nothing. And if you don't remain within the law, you figure a better way around it, while you're probably going to run into a problem eventually.